Hey, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining me and a few of my close friends and some family members that are just, near and dear to my heart for this project. But this is a live launch for the crowdfunding campaign for the TV drama series NICU DC. And if you don't know, this is the story about the courageous babies that go through the NICU unit. One of those 19 years ago was my son, who spent the first 5.5 years of his life in that unit. And this TV drama tells the stories of not only the babies, but all of the parents that unite and come together. Because again, you spend months together just collaborating emotions. And sometimes, the parents leave that hospital without their baby, unfortunately. So there's a lot of emotions that go through this unit, and the nurses and the doctors, we all are just one family. And it's just ups and downs for months. And you can imagine, if anyone has gone through that, you know what I'm talking about. It could be quite emotional. So I wanted to tell the story and be the voice for those parents and all those men and women in the NICU units that do it every day, oftentimes with smiles on their face. And we know that they're tired, 16-hour days, and just, losing babies that they get bonded to, and just everything that goes into that. So this TV drama is representative of millions of parents that go through that every year, and the countless physicians, medical staff, and the administrators that fight for the funding for these units to have updated technology to help these infants survive, man. But I'm just so proud of everybody involved, from the writers, Sophia Renero, Paul Munger, the co-executive producer, Gilbert Glenn Brown, who's actually filming a project now. My mentor, Bill Duke, he's filming a project right now. So these folks are, steadfast behind this project. And I'm just, again, just proud of everyone putting their all to make this actually come to life. And now we're at the point where many people have crowdfunding. A lot of, major movies out there have begun because of crowdfunding. Several Netflix movies have begun because
Hey, brother Troy, you on mute? You on mute? You on mute? You on mute?
Thank you, EA. Now, sometimes I might mute myself because I gotta, I speak too much. I let myself know that's what I do. But again, this story is coming to life because of crowdfunding. And this video, with the help of so many people out there, right? It takes a village to share these links that we put out on social media, so others who I don't even know are contributing to this effort because they believe in it. But as I said, 19 years ago, I personally went through this. And my son, who's 19 years old now, aspiring musician, he flatlined, right? And I remember it like it was yesterday, because within 2 seconds, the staff, they ran into the room, the doctor picked him up, and he was running down the hallway, and I was running behind him, just pleading with him, yo, save my son, save my son. It was like out of a movie. It was an out-of-body experience. I didn't even realize what really happened until later on that night. But when you're in the midst of that, you just lose it. If anyone's ever going through an emergency with their child, you know what I'm talking about. But I want him to just come in and say hello, because he's the reason that I did this because he's the reason why I was in that NICU unit for 5.5 months. So just Troy Richardson Jr., say hello to the people, man.
Hello, how y'all doing?
All right. And just tell them what you're doing now. You're 19, you're healthy. What are you doing now?
I mean, nowadays I'm just working on myself. I like to make my music and promote my online content. Currently, my YouTube channel is growing as well as my TikTok page. And I like to stay fit. I like to exercise, so I just do things that's good for myself.
All right. Well, that's the reason, the inspiration, him and, countless other kids, babies out there that need that voice, and all the courageous, again, the men and women in the NICU unit. And if anybody knows me, they know I love people, man. And I love our babies, our kids, right? And oftentimes they say children are our future, but we don't always treat them like that, man. I mean, not only as an infant, right? When they're babies, we love them. We love on them. We believe in them. They're the most beautiful. But then as they get in teenage years, we tend to, look down on them and say, oh, you're not going to be nothing. You're going to turn out to do nothing. Right? We get on them instead of continuing to uplift them. So in this story, it's going to go a lot of places as we get away from the NICU unit and we tell the stories of, as these kids develop, because we want to instill in our kids, you will always be our future. From the time you were in that NICU unit, we're going to be right there until you get your own family. But we never going to give up on you. We always going to have hope for you, same way that we fought for you as you were fighting for your life in that NICU unit. Now, one thing, when my son was born, he was small enough to be in the palm of my hand. And I got pretty big hands, but they're not like Shaq hands. So he was in the palm of my hand and I had room to spare. That's how small he was. And I was terrified, right? The nurse was like, don't shake. But I was like, if I drop my son, he's going to die. He's that fragile. But I wanted to hold him. I mean, he had the tubes and everything, probably like 10, 12 tubes coming out of his body, man. It was, again, I cannot wait until this story comes out, because it has to come out. The stories about this NICU unit. And I just cannot wait. Now, I want to see if any of my family on this call has gone through the NICU unit. If anyone has had an experience going through the NICU unit, please unmute yourself and tell us about that experience. No one. Wow. That is that's a blessing. That's a blessing. So let me continue and tell you why this crowdfunding is so important. We want to shoot the pilot episode, and I was just talking with Howard University Hospital today, and there's a good chance we're going to shoot it there. Although my son wasn't born there, he was born in George Washington University Hospital in DC. And shout out to the medical staff there, they did an outstanding job. But when I thought about where we wanted to do this, for some reason, Chadwick Boseman came into my mind, right? And we know he's a Howard alum, and I know hundreds of Howard University alumni, some physicians, and just God took me there and said, no, son, you're going to shoot it at Howard. So I reached out to Howard, had a great initial conversation with them today, and they sort of excited, you know what I mean? Because they understand what it means to tell that NICU story. But I'm not going to drag this on. I just wanted to get on here and just launch this the right way with some people that are close to me. And I know will be impacted by what this TV series is going to do and what it's going to bring. So I just want to thank everyone out there that's not on this call that's going to receive this message along with the link to contribute. I just want to say thank you, right? From the bottom of my heart, we all thank you. And we know that we could not do this without you. And I also want to tell you, I'm doing things a little bit different. I'm going to change the game. Everyone who contributes is going to be listed as a contributor in the credits. So when this thing is on network television, you can be proud to show your loved ones that you were part of this TV drama in some way. Because again, from the supporters sharing it to the people donating funds to the investors that will be investing a little bit more than the crowdfunding. My God, just thank you. Thank you. Because this has been 17 years in the making. 17 years when I first decided to do this. And I just took my time and just continued to work on it and work on it. And then 4 years ago, I hired 2 script writers, Sophia and Paul, and they fell in love with what I had started already. And then they put their professional script writer touch on it and really brought it to life. But I want to shout out Charm City Film Group, because these folks out of Baltimore, they read the script. They read the script and they brought it to life. For the first time, I heard the characters like come to life. And it just brought tears to my eyes that this thing it's starting to happen. And then a few months ago, actor, director Gilbert Glenn Brown read the script and same thing, man. He's like, yo, I want to be part of this. I was like, let's do it. Or my man EA say, let's go. And that's what it was. And then, to my man, my brother, my mentor, Bill Duke, it goes without saying, man, with his support behind anything is going to add credibility to it. And just shout out to you, Bill, because that video that you gave me to support me and everything I do, that's beautiful. I appreciate that to the fullest, man. Much love to you. And just to everybody on this call, I'm not going to go through naming names, but you know who you are. I appreciate you. I really do. And again, it's going to take a village. It's going to take a tribe. It's going to take a community to bring this thing to life. And so when I'm at the Emmy Awards next year or the year after, I'm going to take some of y'all with me. I got you. And we all going to be up on that stage representing all the families and all the parents and all those hospitals. And my word is my bond. I'm going to make that happen. So again, NICU DC, the TV drama series, the crowdfunding campaign is here. It's live today, starting August 8th, 2022. We're going to shoot the pilot episode no later than the end of this year, hopefully October, November. Howard University Hospital, I'm calling it now, speaking it into existence. It's going to be epic. You're going to hear more about it in the news. So just get ready, tighten your belt. We about to take this ride. So thank you. God bless you all. And just have a great night. God bless.